Hey guys, so in this video, I just briefly want to speak about something that should motivate you, and that's what if. When I started my high ticket sales journey, I remember my parents and even my friends who cared a lot about me told me, hey, you shouldn't go into a sales job because what if it doesn't work out? And that what if, I've heard it throughout my life. What if the relationship don't work? What if that traveling, remote stuff doesn't work? What if that business doesn't work? And every time I doubted myself, it came from that one simple voice in the back of my head that I've allowed to stay there for several years. And it cost people millions of dollars throughout the years not taking the risk. Because most of the people you see that are making money and living the lifestyle you want, they are not saying what if, they're saying when it happens. Because what's the worst thing that can happen? What is the worst thing? You either get your dream outcome or you get to live the same reality as 99% of your peers, 99% of other people that you're surrounded with in every day. If you have to wake up at 6 a.m. to get to your work, commute for 45 minutes, you get there, you work from 7, 8 a.m. to probably 4 or 5 p.m. You get at home 45 minutes more. Then you change your clothes because you want to go to the gym and you go home and you sleep. And you repeat 5 times a week. And then you have your weekend where you have to kind of shake off the fact that you're a minimum wage slave. Not in a bad sense. I'm just saying that I truly believe a lot of you people have a lot of potential because I was working in a warehouse and I was working in a bank and I was making 2K and I was making 4K per month, 4.2. And when I said, I don't want to do this because I know what I'm getting paid each month, a lot of people say that's safe. It's not. Because what happens is if you take that risk, you will end up in situations where you're making 10K plus. And as much as you want to tell yourself, no, it's impossible. When I started working with sales, it took me 4 months and I'm not special and so aren't you. Nobody's special. Everybody was born with zero knowledge. The only thing is I spent my 24 hours a little bit different than what you did. And in the span of 4 months, after locking in, I actually managed to make 10K per month. And what I truly think is that you should bet on yourself in 2026 because what I see a lot of people speak about is AI. And I think it's super great. But people are forgetting that AI is generating a lot of businesses, a lot of leads. Those leads need to be closed. No robot is going to sell to them. So people need to jump on a call in order to actually buy the product, maybe the coaching offer. View it as this. When you log in on Instagram, TikTok, when you log in on YouTube, you see a lot of people that are doing mentorships, courses, consultants, and they have a lot of people that are potential clients. So they have no struggle anymore to get leads. That was the issue a couple years ago. But what they instead have now is they have an issue with getting closers. More people should get into closing because, because what you can do is you can learn to work as a high ticket remote closer, but you can work from wherever you want. The entry level is so low. You don't need a 5-year master's degree. You don't need to have $100,000 in debt, in college debt. You don't need to buy a course for $10,000. All you need to do is a computer. Like you need a computer and you need a phone. And those two things is going to help you make 10K faster than any other education could. Because the reality is this, I've tried the educational route and I've tried to work hard and none of that shit worked to make 10K per month. I've tried to buy a lot of courses and mentorships and none of that shit worked to make 10K per month. It might work for some of you, but high ticket sales worked efficiently. And the reason that I'm so confident is because I have a lot of friends that I used to work with in my first 9 to 5 with sales that were making $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 per month. So it works for a lot of people. So if you're telling yourself, oh no, I'm not good with sales, nobody is. It's all about making it happen no matter how you feel. Because if you can do that, if you can delay gratification, right? If you can work with delay gratification, tell yourself, hey, I'm going to go to the gym today and tomorrow and the day after for the next 6 months and boom, you have a 6-pack. Or I'm going to eat healthy today, tomorrow, and the day after and boom, I'm going to get a healthier body, healthier skin. Same happens with sales. So you show up, I'm going to take 3 calls today and you do it for the next 6 months, you're going to make 10K. It's impossible not to make 10K. And if you're telling yourself, oh, I can't do it, I can't, that's that bitch voice. That's the voice in your head that is telling you, oh, no, we have to wait. It's not safe. And trust me, that voice right there, I've had it for a couple of years and that's have costed me a lot of money. But the thing is, I was watching so much motivational videos that I was pumped up. I was hyped. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it work. And when I was looking at people that would live in my dream life, buying the cars that I wanted to buy, living in houses that I wanted to live in, the number one thing that I understood was this. If you don't take chance, you're just mediocre. And nobody worth mentioning has ever died mediocre. A lot of people were living for something. Either it was their own family, it was their own business, it was their own purpose. They made an impact on people, a positive impact. Money is not everything. but it's a tool. People say money can't buy happiness. Well, being broke can't buy anything. That's the reality. I'm sorry to tell you. It sounds harsh. The only reason I'm harsh is because I had to be harsh on myself in order to get to that situation where I was making enough money so I could help my family. So I can actually reward myself for the hard years. So I can actually take care of the people that I want to take care about. And I'm here to tell you that, hey, it's not supposed to be fun in the first months. But then when you're making money, ooh, it's going to be super fun. And that's the thing. A lot of people want to speak about, oh, I don't have the tools. I don't have this. You don't need anything. You see, what you need is more confidence in yourself. You need to believe in yourself. This is not a course on identity, but take a look at your daily habits. Take a look at the people you surround yourself with. Take a look at what you do. Most of it is probably a cover up for the way you're feeling. If you're drinking a lot and going to the clubs and you're struggling to quit, maybe you have an isolation problem. Maybe you're struggling to be with yourself because, you know, if you would be in a room with your own thoughts, then you wouldn't be so happy because there's a lot of things you're not proud of. But in 2026, that's going to change. You need to write down your identity hacks. You need to write down how you're going to make that money, how you're going to travel. Maybe you can combine them. In my link, I have a Skool community for a lot of people who are wishing to learn more. Learn how to land their first high-ticket sales job. Learn how to make their first $5,000 to $10,000. It brings me purpose in life to help other people. I think that's one of the greatest things we can ever do. It says in the Bible too, that it's better to give than to receive. And I think that a lot of people need to start believing in themselves. Because what social media has done is that your worth is often based on likes. And I think that's completely wrong. Your worth is based on impact. The way you help people, how you help people. And nobody cares when you're 75 how much money you made, right? Nobody cares. They care about the impact. How many positive impacts have you had on people in this lifetime? And I want you to believe in yourself, because when I believed in myself for the first time ever, that's when I saw change. And I think that everybody deserves to see a change in their life, especially if they're not happy. Because people tell you you're not supposed to be happy all the time. I think it's wrong. You can be happy every single day. Every single day you can be happy. You can choose to be happy. And that choice is easier when you're making the right plans. So get to my Skool community and I'll see you on the other side. And if you have any questions, you have me in the comment section or you have me in the Skool community. My Instagram is also below. So if you have any questions, reach out to me there and I'll help you. So take care.